This meeting is being recorded.
What's going on, y'all? This your boy, Chris Simmons, coming to you with another podcast episode, man. And y'all already know who it is, man. I'm going to just stop saying shit, guess. She my partner in grime. You already know what it is. Transformational coach from Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sandra Cruz. What's going on with you, girl? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? Not much. It's a rainy day over here. It's kind of fugly, but everything's good.
You said what? You said
It's
it's
kind of
what?
fugly. It's kind
Fugly.
of fugly.
What
Yeah,
the heck?
fugly.
I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard that term before. But all right, I know what I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, man, that's cool though. What's the temperature out there right now?
Oh my God, it's like 85, 90, I want to say.
Dang, it's like
Oh,
something.
actually, I'm lying. I'm looking at my phone. It's 80.
I
Well, that was at
mean,
10 a.m.
you said
Yeah.
80 to 85, so I mean, you was in the range. That
Yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's warmer than what we got. It's actually not too bad out. It's like low 50s right now. But yesterday, it was actually a nice day. I actually think it touched. It was like maybe 65 yesterday. So it was a pretty nice day for real. So I was able to go outside for a little bit and be able to walk around and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, it's a little cloudy right now. But still God is good all the time. I'm just grateful to be alive for real. Grateful to see another day. I'm actually looking forward to this Friday because this Friday is when I get to take off and I'm going to Philadelphia, city of brotherly love. But from my understanding, there ain't too much brotherly love going on out there. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I mean, as long as you could go out there and get a Philly cheesesteak, you'll be all right.
well, that's my main goal is hopefully get a Philly cheesesteak. I told y'all before that I visited Philly last summer in 21 and I got to see my uncle. I'm actually going to be fortunate enough to see him again, but I'm not going to stay with him like the whole time. It's like when we get into town on Friday, he already offered to take me and my roommate to a really, really bougie restaurant called Del Frisco Steakhouse, which is downtown. You listen, let me tell you something. You know a restaurant is bougie if they're making you follow a dress code. Because we looked on the line, we looked on the site. They said a dress code is business casual. Thank you for not wearing hoodies such as this one right here. You can't wear no gym wear, sweatpants. You can't wear no jersey. You can't basically wear nothing, but you can wear jeans and any other like business casual form of attire. But they so stingy, bro. They really stingy on that. It's like I never really got the idea of having a dress code to go eat somewhere because really you go in there to spend money. So it's like, why does it matter for real? Like, other than like showing up there naked, like obviously, like you don't want to do that. But it's like if you got like clothes on for real, I've never seen the point of having a dress code if people are willing to go there, spend money, and eat. Like, cause you're gonna sit down and eat. It's not like you're gonna be around like looking at people. You're gonna sit down at your table and you're gonna eat your food and you're gonna pay the bill. You know what I'm saying? So I never really understood that because I know some really, really nice restaurants do that. I know that's one of them, but I know there's more out there. But I never got that idea. But I'm not complaining just because I know that when I looked at the menu, whoo, some of them steaks, they're looking nice. So I am
Oh, you know,
out there.
the best steak you gotta get is the filet mignon, and you gotta get it medium rare. Ah,
Mignon. Now I don't know because I saw a steak on there. I saw a ribeye steak on there for 16 ounces. And I'm really into ribeyes. I really love ribeyes. So
yeah, filet mignon a little bit.
but I know the filet mignon is probably one of the best cuts on the cow. Because where does it come from? Doesn't it come from the center of the cow? I think, or like the
You know what? I really don't know where it comes from, but all I know is like butter in your mouth. It's like butter.
well, listen, if it's over 8 ounces, I will get it because I need like at least a 12-ounce steak or more. The most steak I've ever ate before was a 24-ounce ribeye at Red Steakhouse, and I actually got this for my birthday in September. Me and my roommate, I invited some friends out to the Red Steakhouse. They had like this 24-ounce bone-in ribeye. I think I told y'all about this before, and they put the garlic butter on the steak. Woo-wee,
Oh.
man, that boy was nice. You feel me? So that boy was nice. So I'm looking forward
How
to
do you like your steak though? How do you like your steak? You like
I,
it?
I like it medium. I don't like it medium rare, which I know
I like
like
medium rare.
medium. You do what?
Medium rare.
Oh,
I like the skin like juicy. I like
Now I know they
the
say that's the best way to get your steak done. But that's just a little too rare for me. Like I like it more pink. So medium is fine with me. Like in between medium and medium well. I don't do well done. Like if you getting your steak well done, you just basically that's just nasty. You just
no,
you just eating
that's
charcoal.
nasty. That's like eating a hockey puck.
Exactly.
I agree.
Like honestly, like I don't. You
To be
still want it to
chewing
be
on it for
juicy.
yes. I don't know. I just find it so I don't know. I find it if you're gonna have a good steak, I cannot eat something so dry. Like I can't eat anything dry. Like I hate chicken that's dry. So naturally my steak, I want it to be nice and moist, that it falls off and like it's butter in my mouth. Um, there's a restaurant out here that I go to sometimes called Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
I've
Oh,
been there as well. That's
super
actually really good too. I've been there twice, and I like the concept where they have your steak on a hot plate that's like 500 degrees, and it's cooking the steak. It's cooking the steak on the plate, so it's a real cool concept for real.
I
So
get
yeah, that's another
excited.
good one, huh?
I get excited when it comes to food.
So let me ask you a question. When was the last time you went to Ruth Chris, or any steakhouse in general?
Oh my gosh. Like at the beginning of COVID, a friend of mine came down from New York and he's like, I'm here, let's go eat. I was like, all right. So we went out to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. It was really good. Expensive, but it was good. And it was worth it. Because I always tend to think like if you're gonna spend something, you can spend quality, then spend on quality food, you know? Spend on quality food, a good salad, a good steak, a good whatever it is you eat, because some people don't eat meat, and that's okay. They have a different diet. Um, but always I like quality. I think I got that from my dad. My dad was he's a retired chef.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I get that from him. He always wanted to have like quality. He always says he doesn't mind paying for quality.
Okay.
So
Well, that's cool though. But yeah, no, I'm like I said, like I'm actually speaking of steak, man. I'm actually really looking forward to getting that steak on Friday. And the more we talk about steak, the more that my mouth waters for real. So I'm looking
I
forward.
know.
So I'm looking forward to getting the steak, the bone-in steak, and the Philly cheese steak when I go to Philly. So I'm
Heck
looking
yeah.
forward to this trip. So definitely looking
You
forward
gotta
to the
put that
food.
on either A, you gotta send me a picture of the steak or the Philly, or put it on your Instagram. I gotta see this.
Well, I'll
Cause they
probably
say
just
the
send you that individually. I'll send you
yeah,
that
send it to
individual.
me.
I don't post. Nah, I'm not the type of person that post what they eat on Instagram because I don't
Me
think it's
neither.
nobody business. But I will send you, since you asked, I will send you the steak. That'll probably be one of the only times I take pictures of my food because I really don't. I just eat it. But I know
So do
people be like,
I.
oh, look at me, I'm eating this. But nah, that's not me for real. I ain't mad at you.
And sometimes
It's like, all
and
right,
sometimes when you look at your plate, you're like, oh, that doesn't even look good. It might taste good, but don't look good. And you keep it to yourself. You're like, no,
right.
that's happened to me. Yeah, I don't do that either. I just eat unless it looks really pretty. Like one time I had a bowl of like poke bowl, which has like all this tuna, quinoa, everything. And it looks so pretty with avocado that I just took the picture and the colors came out beautiful.
Ooh,
But
okay.
that's about the only time.
Yeah, no, it's all good though. I mean, I ain't mad at you, dude. It's just like something I don't do. But Miss Sandra, I will
Yeah.
make sure to take pictures. I know actually, you know what? My roommate actually does all that. Like every time he goes like to a new place, dude be taking a lot of pictures, man. So that's what he did when we went to Chicago in November. He's the picture guy. So I will get the pictures from him and I'll send them to you.
Absolutely.
That's how I'm gonna do it. All
Absolutely.
right. But yeah, no. It's coming up. The trip is coming up real soon. It's coming up really fast. So I'm just looking forward to going out there and stuff like that. But anyway, I know we talked a lot about steak. Talked about a lot about traveling. So we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. You see what I did there? We're gonna get in the meat and potatoes of this episode. We're gonna get into the center. And I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start off the episode just by kind of talking about what I was a part of it was last week. Wow, last week. It was actually last week. That's crazy. But yeah, so last week I went to this Bible study. And it was run by students. So since I'm a student at Kent State University, they got like a student Bible study group. They call themselves the disciples, the student disciples, which are basically followers of Christ. And so I was fortunate enough to attend this Bible study last week. And they were going over the word. The dude that was standing in front, he was going over the word and stuff like that. And one thing that was cool was that he had us do an interactive activity. And he asked us like a few questions to have us answer in these groups of 3 or 4. And a lot of the questions had to deal with doubt. Now, I tried to remember most of them. I tried to remember all of them, but I can only remember one because this one question in particular stood out to me. And the question was, what causes us to doubt? Okay. What causes us to doubt? And so when I was speaking in my group, I came up with two things that I believe that causes us to doubt. One, lack of confidence. And what is lack of confidence? Fear. That's all it is. When somebody says, I'm afraid, I'm fearful, all that means is they lack confidence in themselves. So you ever had somebody, I know I'll be around my dude sometimes, man. And it's so funny how, like, since most of us are single, we be seeing some, nice girls walk by, you know what I'm saying? We see some nice girls out in public. They most of them be like, oh, you see that? Oh, look at her. Right. They be trying to, like, you look her up and down and stuff, checking her out and everything like that. And then, when it comes time, when I be like, all right, yeah, I see you looking at that girl. Why don't you go talk to her? Oh, no, man. See, I don't know, man. I think she got a boyfriend. I don't know if she my type. But it's like, bro, you doing all that talking. Okay. But you ain't going to go out here and actually go up and say something. See, sometimes we get those. I just use that as an example to kind of make a point, because we do that to ourselves sometimes. Sometimes when we go into a situation, we do all this talking. We're like, oh, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But then when it comes time to execute on it, it's like all of a sudden our mind goes into shock. Our mind is like, oh, I don't know about that now. I know we were talking about it earlier, but I don't know if I should go after that business. I don't know if I should go after that job. I don't know if I should, be able to, or quit my job and go do something that I'm really passionate about. See, a lot of us, we get in that frame of mind to where, it sounds good. It sounds good when it's just us by ourselves, but when it comes time to actually going out and putting the work toward whatever we desire to do, all of a sudden, then we start coming up with all these excuses as to why we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So then we start to doubt ourselves, because when it comes time to jump to that next destination, that's the part in our mind where it's the most scariest, right? It's almost like standing in line. It's almost like standing in line at a roller coaster, because I've had this before, where the roller coaster, it looks so fun, right? When you're walking by it, it looks really fun. And then when you're coming close to getting on it, that's when your mind can go in that shock to where it's like, ooh, what if this ride breaks down? What if you fall out the seat? What if something happens to you, right? So a lot of that is because we tend to get fearful because it's not comfortable to us. And when you go out and try to chase success, and you're trying to step into your purpose, it's going to be uncomfortable. So your mind has to learn how to adjust to being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that causes us to doubt, is that lack of confidence, which is that fear that our mind experiences when we're going into something new, right? Another thing that I also believe that causes us to doubt is when what we want doesn't happen right away. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you are in the process of going through your journey toward whatever you desire to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, we like to put time frames on things. So let's say your goal is to open your business within a year, but you didn't calculate all the unexpected events that could happen. For example, maybe you had a vision to open your business in 2020, but you didn't calculate that there was going to be COVID. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think that a tragic event that happened in 2020 would have delayed your opening. And sometimes, when it doesn't happen on our time frame, that's when we tend to lose doubt. Just like every year when people make goals and aspirations going into a new year, they're like, all right, in 3 months, I plan on going from a size 16 to a size 4. And then at the 3 months, we still at size 8. And then we decide to be like, oh, well, it wasn't worth it. It was 3 months. I didn't see it happen. So let's just go ahead and give up. And that's how a lot of us are, is when we don't see it in the time frame that we want, that's what causes us to doubt. And that's what causes us to question, okay, is this path that I'm on right now going to be what my purpose is? And see, we can't lose sight of the fact that it will work out. Whatever we go after, it will come to pass, but it won't happen in the time frame that you want it. It's going to happen when God decides it's time for it to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've had to realize, going through life, just like what I'm doing right now. I see myself having all these dreams and all these visions for this podcast, but it's taking a little time because I'm trying to build it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build the foundation. So because I'm trying to build the foundation, it's not just all of a sudden I'm just going to snap my finger and it's going to pop up right there. You got to be able to take time to do what is required. So for me, that includes making sure that I plan out my episodes, making sure that I get the right people on the show, making sure that I'm consistent each and every week. So you got to continue to keep showing up for yourself. And I think we had a conversation about that, me and you, Sandra. I don't know. I think we might have had a conversation about showing up for yourself, or maybe that was somebody else. But I remember having that conversation where we talked about showing up for yourself. And when we talk about showing up for yourself, that means you got to go in and continue to keep doing the work, even on days where you think, oh man, this ain't gonna be worth it. You got to continue to keep showing up day in and day out. See, the difference that separates successful people who've actually been able to do something versus people who haven't been able to do something is that successful people remain consistent.
Yeah.
Successful businesses that you see have been consistent. And another thing is they've been able to go all in. See, that's a poker term that I learned. Because I know that poker is a popular card game and there's different terms that people use, but one term I'm really familiar with is all in. And what all in means, when somebody says, I'm gonna go all in on this hand, that means they taking everything that they got and they putting it in the table because they are confident that their hand is going to win them the money that's on the table. See, sometimes we don't do that with ourselves. We don't go all in when it comes to stepping toward our purpose. See, it's like the hokey pokey where we got the right foot in, but we got the left foot out. And see, that could be the problem as to why it's taking longer for you to actually live in your purpose, is because you ain't all in. You ain't willing to give up. You ain't willing to give up some things in order to get there, because sometimes that fear, like I said, lack of confidence is keeping us back. And also when we don't see it right away, we tend to get lazy sometimes. So you can't be afraid to go all in and be able to take some harsh criticisms. Sometimes when we do something that's different from the norm, You know, for example, like maybe your parents saw you to be like a doctor or something, but you said, no, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a musician. Sometimes that
Yeah.
backlash from even our own family can cause us to have fear because, you know, people will talk about, oh, you know, why don't you want to be a doctor? Like a doctor, you know, they have a stable income and all this, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They got the benefits, all this stuff. And the musician, you know, they'll try to talk you out of it. They'll be like, a musician, you know, they don't they don't make that much money. You know,
Yeah.
they're not as successful as doctors. They'll try to throw statistics at you, which will cause you to be afraid to go all in what you've been called to do. See, maybe you
Hmm.
weren't called to be a doctor like your parents were. Because I've talked to a lot of people, you know, coming up in school where their parents, you know, try to force them to do one thing, but they don't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to be willing to face resistance. Like I said on the last episode, resistance is what builds your muscle, right? So if you got a dream and you know what you want to do and you know what God has called you to do, go all in. You know what I'm saying? And don't be afraid to take a risk, even if it comes at a cost.
Yeah. Could I step in just a 1 second? You mentioned something so key, and I had to write it down. So if you saw me looking, I had to write it down because I was like, oh, I got to remember that point. So you were talking about fear. And it's funny because when I was going through the coaching, before I went through all coaching and did everything in my coaching, they talked a lot about fear because when you start your own coaching business, well, you got to go out there on your own. You don't have somebody guiding you. You're not clocking in for somebody. So you got to do it and you got to create. And sometimes you got to step out your comfort zone, like you said. And so what tends to happen when you step out your comfort zone, your brain is trying to protect you because your brain is always in instinct survival mode. Let me protect. So you're trying to protect something from happening that you don't even know if it's going to happen. So fear is really fear of the unknown. It really doesn't exist. So it's something that in our brain we make up. And I can give you my example. I was talking to my own coach today, right before we got on this podcast. And we were talking about my schedule. And so he asked me, he goes, well, what about that schedule do you see? And I'm like, it's unbalanced. And if I don't work here and do this, I won't have rent. But that's not true because I'm already working and I'm already working in several jobs that I know I'm going to have rent. And it, like you said, always works out. And so, I was finding myself stretching myself thin. But you mentioned because I couldn't see the outcome tangibly or in my hands, I began to freak out. There's nothing going on with my business, but there is. That was my brain. The clutter in my brain was telling me you have nothing going on. It's not going to work. What are you doing? Maybe this isn't for you because I couldn't see, okay, so, client wise, no, but I'm teaching a class on Vibely soon. I'm having these podcasts. So I'm way ahead of the game. But my mind takes me there. So, like you said, either a lot of people don't realize they look at the whole picture instead of looking at things in increments. For example, for me, and what I came to the conclusion of is that I was getting overwhelmed with my day because I felt like I had to be in 5 million places. And my coach was like, well, what does that look like? And when he started breaking it down, I realized that the best thing to do is focus on the moment. Okay, what am I doing next? I'm going to launch this podcast, but what's my next move after you've already done? We have this podcast here. What's my next move? Let me focus on that right now. Let me be efficient in that because sometimes we clutter our brain with too many things and become overwhelmed and the fear starts to come up. Oh, this is going to be too much. I can't do it. And that's when you start saying, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. But says who? Except ourselves. And so we become our own obstacle and we begin to doubt ourselves. And doubt will paralyze you. Doubt will definitely paralyze you. On top of that, if you don't have communication with the Father above, and some people don't believe, or with a higher being, for those who don't, or whatever spiritual way they choose to go. If you don't consecrate yourself and have that, um, your mind tends to go in all different directions. I know that for me, ever since I've been meditating, it basically aligns my day. And I'm able to say, okay, what am I going to do today? I can do this. I can. All day long, I'm saying I can versus I can't. And I used to say I can't. Man, after I got out of my master's degree, I spent years and years and years and years trying to figure out what's my purpose? Where am I going to go with this? I have a master's degree that I really can't use. What am I going to do? Like, I can't, my master's degree is educational psychology. And in order to get into that field is really to work with like statistics and SATs and creating these standardized testing and researching. And well, you need like 12 years experience. You need this, you need that. And I thought to myself, I'm a failure. I can't get nowhere. I'm not doing anything. And fear paralyzed me until I was like, oh no, something's got to change. And I started consecrating myself more to the Father above and praying. And slowly but surely, I started finding my way and I started trying new things. Oh, no, this isn't it. This isn't it. Until I found coaching and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This feels right. And so I started doing things and I started opening myself up to ways I never did before. And so once the doubt subsides, or once you start doing it, like opening yourself to new opportunities, and you just go with it and you concentrate on that opportunity, not on the consequences, not on what might happen. Because people think, first thing they think is, I'm going to fail at this. But if you keep thinking, I'm going to fail at this, it'll paralyze you. You're doubting yourself. But if you just think for the moment, I'm just going to do it, and whatever the consequence is, the consequence is. However it turns out is however it turns out. Same thing I did with my lives on Instagram. However it turns out is however it turns out. And I'm going to show up organic. And I did. And it was a success. I won't say I had 1,001 people on there, but it was a success for me because I got the news out there. Someone, at least one person watched. And so that gratifying experience it left me actually wanting more gratifying experiences like that. So that's why I was scared the first time I did a podcast with you. I really was. And I was like, how am I going to look? How am I going to look? But I was like, forget that. I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And I was like, when I closed my laptop, I was like, man, that was dope. I want to do that again. And my fear started to subside. And I started to say to myself, go all in.
Here we go. See, I wanted to share this quote that I heard from a song called "Taking a Chance on Me" by one of my favorite Christian rappers, D1. In that song, man, he talks a lot about his journey to going from, working a traditional 9 to 5 to now he's a, rapper chasing his dreams. He kind of shared his story, in like a 2-3 minute song. So I'll definitely recommend y'all go listen to it. But one thing that stood out to me, one quote that he said that I want to share with y'all that just hit home with me was, he said, if I'm too scared to chase my own dreams, then life is worthless. Let me say that again. He said, if I'm too scared to chase my own dreams, then life is worthless. I want you to think about what that means for a second. I want you to really think about what that means. We were put on this earth for a reason. See, a lot of people think that, people get in what this one guy describes as a rat race. We just living our life running in circles. We thinking that this whole life, we got to just constantly keep doing the same thing. And that's how they got us programmed to think, every day you wake up, you got to do things so you can pay your rent, your bills. You got to do this and that. That's why they got us paying bills. That's why they got us working 9 to 5. because they keeping us busy, they keeping our mind occupied off of things that we want to do. And that's how a lot of people, that's how most people live their life, running in circles. Oh man, I got to pay the bills every 30 days. Let me go out here and work 5-6 days a week, not have no time to do what I really want to do, man. But if you think about it, we weren't meant to live life like this. You know what I'm saying? We weren't meant to like be distracted from who we really are. That's not how we're supposed to live life. We only get one life. I've been saying this, man. I've been, thinking about some of the, things that I've been doing lately, such as enjoying my life more. If I want to go out on a Tuesday, I'm going to go out on Tuesday. If I want to go out on a Thursday, I'm going to go out on Thursday. If my friend hit me up on Monday and say, hey, man, you want to get together? I'm hitting my friend. I'm hitting my friend back. I'm like, yo, we about to hang out. Why? Because I get one life. I'm gonna live it out. I'm not gonna have these people talking about, oh, you gotta do work, you gotta do school, you gotta do this. Like, listen, all that stuff gonna still be there. All that work that they got you doing at your job, that's gonna be there. All them bills you paying, they gonna be there. But what's not gonna be there is your time. And so you can't be playing around talking about, oh, I'm gonna wait till I'm this age or this time to finally go out and, do what I want to do.
Enjoy life.
Exactly. So my thing is this: if you got a dream, go after it. Don't be scared. Even if it comes at a cost, even if it comes with backlash, even if it's scary, like the dude said, you were on this earth to chase what you want to do, to be who God has called you to be.
Yep.
And so if you've always had a dream of starting a business, you've always had a dream to become a singer, you've always had a dream of becoming an engineer, do it right now. Because what's the point of living your life in a way to where every day you wake up, you just don't want to be up. You just want to lay in bed all day, not do nothing. Don't feel like going to work. Don't feel like going out. What's the point of that? You're wasting time. So there is no perfect time to do things. Like people be like, oh, wait, I'm just waiting for the perfect time. There ain't no perfect time. Because you don't know what's going to happen in the next hour. You don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. So what you waiting on, man?
The time is now.
Go out and do what you want to do, man. This is your life. But again, you get programmed to think that every day, every week, every day, we got to go out. We got to go to work. We got to, go to school. We got to do all this stuff, man. Keep our mind busy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you stressing yourself out for real. Live life on your own terms for real.
If I could just say something like that to that too, or add to that, is, like you said, they have us running around here like a rat race. It's true. I'm not saying don't pay your bills. I'm not saying don't work to pay your bills. But what I do say is don't stress about it. I can only tell you from my experience. I used to work 7 to 4. And let me tell you something. That manager, that man used to make it seem like that was the only thing that was important in our lives, because that's the way he dealt with it. So for him, all he knew was this job is your life. And this comes first, because for him, that's what he used to do. So his whole entire life was that rat race, versus me, who was like, yo, okay, yeah, I got to pay my bills. I'm coming in, but I'm not going to feel bad because one day I took a day of mental health, or I've got the time. I'm not going to stress myself out because you think he used to tell me all the time, oh, I expect you guys to be here on Saturday. One day somebody said to him, well, I expect $1 million. Don't mean I'm getting it. You know what I mean? Because you can't, there's no, when you let go of all expectation of how or what the way things should be, you let go of that. You let go of that notion. Fear subsides. You let go of, well, it should have been this way. It should have been that way. Let me tell you something. A couple months later, I ended up leaving that job to start my own coaching business. And it was like If it's now, is never. If it's not now, it's not never. And I just chose. That day, I gave him my ID and I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Because I think that I'm not going to sit here and have to live by the creed you live by. If you want to be stressed out and you want to worry about that stuff that is not going to get you anywhere, then listen, that's not even worth it. So I handed in my ID. I walked away. I put all fear aside and placed all the trust I had in myself and in God. And you know what? I still have food on my table. I still got rent coming in, and I still got my bills paid. So, you know, and I had to let go of the expectation of, oh, because there was an expectation of, if you leave your job, how are you going to start your own business? You need money for that. Says who? Says who? There's a million and one ways to do things. But the fact that we create this self-doubt limits us and gives us tunnel vision and has us thinking that we need to do this 9 to 5. We need to study, because that's one of the biggest fallacies, that you need to go to college. I'm not knocking it. I went to college. I also have a master's, which I ain't do jack with. Well, I can't say I didn't do anything with, because I use it towards my coaching business as well. It's psychology. But, you know, it's not how society thinks it should be anymore. You know, we're getting to an age where technology is rising. So many things are occurring. So why is it that you have to just fulfill that 9 to 5 aspect? Oh, I got to work 9 to 5 to pay the bills. And then I can't go anywhere throughout the year because I don't have time saved up. And so you're overworked, you're overstressed, you're burnt out, mental health starts to suffer, fear sets in, doubt, and you become sick mentally. How is that? I mean, have you taken a look at the statistics of the United States? Mental health is booming. It's freaking booming. There's so many people with depression. And then when you ask them, oh, work, oh, the way life is, because they are running the rat race.
That's how you know when you in the rat race, man. That's how you know you under some type of control. If you got a person telling you when to wake up, telling you when to take your break, telling you when to sleep, that's how you know a lot of people in that system are controlled. You know what I'm saying? And you want to get your control back. What I'm trying to tell y'all, get your control back. Don't let nobody tell you when you need to take a break. Don't let nobody tell you when to go eat, when to go to bed. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. These people that you working for, man, they don't care about your mental health the way you supposed to take care of it. They ain't checking on you, talking about, oh, man, how you feeling, man? You know, how's your mental health? You know, how's the family? They don't care about that. What they care about is, did you do the work that I told you? Okay, good. We're going to give you more work.
Right. Rarely did you get it done on time?
Exactly. Rarely do people check on you. Rarely do people feel sorry for you that you stayed up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning doing their stuff for them. Their most important thing is, did you get it done? And see the problem with that is sometimes, you know, you deteriorate your health when you staying up like that. Because I used to be like that in school for real. I had to stop that. I really did. I used to stay up till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, working on homework. And I'm like, yo, and then I'll turn in. Teacher would be like, okay, cool. All right, we're gonna get some more homework. Now, one time the teacher asked me, oh, how's everybody doing? Oh, like, you know, how's everybody taking care of themselves? Like, no, they're just gonna keep giving you work. And like I said, the work is always gonna be there. The work is gonna be there, but your time is not. So there gotta be a point where you gotta take control. Like for me, like, you know, I had to take control of my sleep. I'm like, okay, my goal every night is getting to bed by at least 11 to 12 o'clock at night. And then
that's late.
That's not late because I get up at 6, 7.
We going to bed at 8:30.
No, you see, you older. Well, you older than me, so that you. I'm still at that
You
age
still got a
where
little bit of the midnight
I
oil in you.
got that.
I don't.
You little. Well, I shouldn't say older. I should say you a little bit more seasoned. So your body requires
Yes,
it
I love it.
requires certain things
Yeah.
for you to do. See, I'm still at that young stage, but nah, usually I try to get in the bed around 11, 12 o'clock. And I've made it, and I try to do my downtime around 10. So that's where I got like a setting on my iPhone to where I can, put it on downtime to where it shuts off all the apps and stuff like that around 10 o'clock to where I can like relax my mind before I go to sleep. So I took that as a priority because I, started reading up on sleep because I used to be a part of that hustle culture to where they're like, oh yeah, you only need 3-4 hours of sleep. You got to, grind for 22, 23 hours a day. I'm like, that's some BS.
Oh,
because I
that's
read
not
up.
even gonna.
Yeah,
Doesn't allow you to function.
Exactly. And that's what it's funny how I'm taking a personal health class and there was a chapter on sleep and how if you don't get a significant amount of sleep, you're actually damaging your brain. You are actually doing damage to your health. And so I had to say, you know what? Forget that. I'm going to sleep. I'm getting my 8 hours of sleep. I'm going to sleep at a time to where I can wake up and fully function. I'm not going to put myself in a situation to where I'm staying up 2 o'clock in the morning and I got to get up at 5, 6 o'clock next morning. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. But the reason I'm able to do that is because I put myself first. See, don't put nobody else before you because that person ain't taking care of you the way you're supposed to be taking care of you. So my thing is this: if you got somebody telling you what to do, man, it's time to take control back. All they doing is like a remote control TV. All they doing is pressing buttons, and they're able to control how you function. And if you
No, I think you have a good point there. Sorry to interject, but I think you have a swell point there. Just because of the simple fact that it all boils down to how you have a mindset. We all know that these emails, we all know that we have a mindset. And it's how you process things. We all know that, yes, you have responsibilities. You've got to go to work, for those who have a family and things of that nature. So, but it boils down to your mindset. Are you going to because people go to work and then they get frustrated over work. Oh, he wanted me to come in on Saturday. He said I expected, or now we got to stay overtime, instead of taking control of your own mindset and saying, you want to know what, boss, I don't think today I can stay overtime. Maybe tomorrow I'll let you know. When you start taking control and you start setting those boundaries, you start to realize, wow, I'm taking control of my life again, little by little. And I'm setting these healthy boundaries because I'm putting, what you said, myself first. And that's exactly what I had to do, because in my job, it was like, oh, I expect you to be here Saturday. One day I was like, hold up, you don't own me.
There you go.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, I don't work Saturdays. And he had to bite the bullet. And then he was doing that behind everybody's back, like telling us that he expected us. But then when the regional director came in, he said, any volunteers? So that meant that I didn't have to be there. I didn't volunteer. And his whole game went down in flames at that point, because now people knew, oh, so you were telling us you expect it, like if the office or the directors expected it. So no, you've got to start setting healthy boundaries, I think, is what it all boils down to. Setting those healthy boundaries like you did with your sleep. Doesn't mean you don't get your work done. It just means that you've rearranged it so that you have time for everything, because you've decided that your health is more important than getting a paper done at 2, 3 in the morning.
See, part of my problem as well was like I used to not know how to manage my day, not know how to manage that time for real. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of things that kept me up so late was because I wasn't basically managing that time correctly. You know what I'm saying? It's because we all get 24 hours in a day. And I've said this before, you all get 24 hours in a day. It's
Mhm.
just a matter of how productive are you in those
How we
24
fix it.
hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the reason I, get up early is because, I want to be able to get a head start on my day to get things done early. So that way, when it comes time to the afternoon, evening, I'm able to relax. You know what I'm saying? And be able to go to
Yeah.
bed at a good time. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of how are you managing in that day? You know what I'm saying? Like when we talk about, going after your purpose, right? You're going to have to make sacrifices, but make some healthy sacrifices. Sacrificing your sleep, probably not the healthiest
Yeah,
choice.
well,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
you know what's the funny part? When you start walking in your purpose, like you said, you start doing things on purpose. People don't understand that little term purpose. That means that you're purposely going to get that sleep. You're purposely going to be efficient. And you said it, your example was the best example. You designed your day so that you can purposely get things done to be more efficient. So when people start deciding to walk in their purpose, they start making these arrangements, and these arrangements are small little arrangements compared to the consequences it brings, the good consequences, not the bad ones, because it doesn't bring bad ones. I started to do the same. I started to get up at 6, 7 o'clock to meditate, to go. So by 8 o'clock, I'm already at the gym if I can. And now I'm switching it because I've got to start working on my class. So for a while, I'll be getting up, and by 8 o'clock, I'm going to be working on my class. So this is what we talk about. This is walking in your purpose, doing things purposefully, knowing the outcome, knowing what you want the outcome to be. So I want to be able to have strength during the day, right? So I need to go to sleep and have 8 hours of sleep. That's doing that on purpose. That's being purposeful. And when you start doing that, things start to change 100% for you.
There you go.
Fear subsides, doubt subsides, because you get stuff done.
There you go. And that's what I mean when I say go all in, man. Bet on you, man. That's the whole idea of this episode, man. You want to bet on you
Yeah.
because nobody else gonna bet on you like you bet on you. But the thing is, man, you can't be afraid to go your own route. Even if you do, like nothing wrong with you having a 9 to 5, nothing wrong with that. But it's about holding your own for real. If you in that environment and somebody controlling you, somebody telling you what to wear, somebody telling you how to eat, telling you, what to do, like with your life, that's where you can't allow that to happen. And see,
Right.
when you bet on yourself, man, it feels a whole lot better, man. It feels a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot better when you do things for yourself and you do things for a purpose, man. If what you're
Yeah.
doing every day is not giving you no sense of purpose, it's time to reevaluate what you should be doing. It's not too late, man.
Absolutely.
You don't gotta live your life, you know, in that slave mentality to where you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do nothing if you don't want to. Nobody telling you. If you a grown man or you a grown woman, you know what I'm saying? It's like every decision that you do is on you. So if you don't like what you're doing, that's on you. You can't blame nobody else because you
Exactly.
you have the ability to make a decision. You have a choice. Life is about choices. So don't be afraid to make a choice that's going to benefit you and is going to allow you to maximize your life to where you can stop feeling like you have to do this and change that attitude to I get to do this, right?
Mm,
Until you get there, it's gonna be a struggle. But I'm telling you, you can get out right now if you just man up and say, I'm not gonna do this no more. This job that got me stressing every day, got me taking it out on the people that I love. You gotta realize like that's how powerful that control is. If you got people at your job controlling how you feel throughout the rest of your day, that's how you know. How is it that your boss, who ain't even with you, gonna be able to control how you feel toward your family, toward your friends, toward the people that love and care for you. And I've seen it happen too many times, where people blame external circumstances for their internal feelings.
Oh,
so we gotta stop letting external forces control our internal feelings.
Yep.
So just like I said, man, as I wrap up, it's time to make that bet on yourself. Time for you to go all in on what you want to do, and don't look back. Because one thing that I learned, when I ran track in high school, is that it's better to run with your head straight versus going back. Or I can put it this way. It's better to look ahead when you're driving versus looking in your rearview mirror. Because what's going to happen is it's going to throw your body off. When you keep looking like this, right? When you're running, when you're trying to run after something, you keep going like this, you keep turning your head, that's going to slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
You keep running forward, with your head straight, you're going to be able to run a lot faster. So when it's time for you to come out and do what you need to do, man, keep your head straight. And don't be afraid to leave things behind that are not going to give you any benefit.
Yeah.
So just remember that, man. But anyway, man, this was another great conversation between me and Sandra, for real. I love having these conversations.
So do I.
We'll definitely come back at y'all real soon with some more heat. You know what I'm saying? I just love I just love the style of podcasting, just having a natural conversation for real. Like it's nice, man.
The organic.
Just
the
like
organic.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I get into a lot of conversations during the day and I think to myself, man, this would be a good topic on a podcast.
Exactly.
But it's an amazing way to get the word out there. It's an amazing way to create conversation, rustle up the feathers so people start thinking about, their own future. So these are great. And I'm always up for being on your podcast.
I bet. We're gonna have to do another one when I come back from Philly. But this was a good one because I'm actually able to get a new episode. I was trying to get one out before I went on vacation, but this was perfect timing for real. So I'm gonna have an episode to put out there for y'all next Monday, man. And hopefully y'all, are able to take something away from this and, are able to, take ownership of your life. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, go check out my partner in crime, Sandra Cruz, on IG at Sandy Yvette. So once again, at Sandy Yvette, that's her IG. But as always, I put the link in the description, so you should be able to have direct access to it. Also, check me out on Instagram at Disinfecting Your Life. That's no spaces, no capitals, where you can get all the latest and greatest news that's going on with this podcast for real. So definitely go check me out on there. I'm also on Facebook for y'all older generation who still use Facebook. I had to appeal to all audiences. So Facebook, check me out on there. My Facebook page is Disinfect Your Life. So once again, that is Disinfect Your Life. I actually got a good amount of people on there, man. I average like maybe 3 to 4 followers a week. So I mean, the page is growing for real. I see people out there, checking it out and hopefully being able to interact with my content, hopefully getting stuff out there. So if you ain't on there, definitely go check me out. But mainly go to my Instagram at Disinfect Your Life. Go get you the book, Step Towards Your Purpose, man. It's still out there on Amazon. So definitely go check that out and be able to get a good read in there going into this year. Hopefully y'all still into reading like I am. I actually got back into reading recently. I've been reading a few books myself, but definitely go get my book, man. Sandra, did you place your order?
Not yet. Don't hate me. I will. I got to order several things from Amazon this week, and I'm kind of delaying it, man. I just haven't had the time to get on there.
Well, at least, okay, can you do this for me? At least put it in your cart and save it for later.
No, it's in my cart already.
Oh, it's in the cart. Yeah.
It's in my cart. I just gotta pass the credit card, but we on a slump right now. We gotta handle our business. No, but it's on there with a couple other products, so it will be coming through sometime soon. And that I promise. I don't ever promise anything, but it's there.
Hey, I'm trying to help you out, Chief. Trying to help you out, Chief.
It
But
will though. You know what? Do you have it on Audible too?
I do
Or
not.
no?
No, I don't know. I was thinking about that. My friend asked me that. He was like, "Yo, like since you wrote a book, did you make it accessible for audio?" But I was actually thinking about that, like recording my own voice. I want to use my own voice. I don't want no
Oh, that would
weird.
be cool.
Yeah, I don't
That would
want
be
to have
cool.
no weird voice in the background narrating my book. I'd rather do it myself.
There's only two people who I would let narrate: Morgan Freeman, and what's the other one? He was on the commercials for
All
car
state,
insurance.
all state,
Allstate.
like all
Yeah,
state.
those are the only two. You only got such good voices.
I'm gonna do it myself for real. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into that though. But as of right now, y'all, you can get the paperback version or you can get the ebook version. So those are the two options y'all got. So
Oh, the
definitely
ebook version. Okay.
so definitely, yeah,
Didn't
definitely,
know
yeah. Definitely go check that out for real. Definitely go check that
that.
out.
All
But all right, then. Well, hey, that's a wrap for today's episode, man. This your boy Chris Simmons, alongside partner in crime, Sandra Cruz. We out, y'all. Take care.
right. Wow.
Peace.